It's with myself, Michael Bergio, and Mark Novak. We're going to be talking about buying property these days is not about the property. And what do we mean by that, Mark? What do we mean? It has to be about the property, doesn't it?
Well,
What's the big factor?
Well, borrowing money used to be so easy it was hard, but it was still, compared to these days, it was bloody easy. And now it seems that irrelevant to what you're going to buy, when you're going to buy, how you're going to buy, all that stuff, the stuff that is most relevant these days is funding. Yeah. Funding. And if you've got your funding sorted, you are way ahead of the competition. If you've got your funding sorted, it's sort of like it's the magic key. Whereas the magic key used to be, what am I going to buy? What am I going to pay? You didn't even worry about, is it going to get a valuation tick or is it going to get approved by funding? So it's really changed the game. Yeah. And this morning I want to talk with everyone about tips and tricks on how to be a better buyer when we're considering funding.
100%, because before it used to just be, I'll go find the property and the rest will just work out pretty quickly. And a lot of our tips and tricks on our tips and hacks when making an offer, buying a property, all of them really rely on you having your finance done, being able to execute a contract with confidence. And unlike it was a few years ago, where if you had your 10, 20, 30% in the bank, you just know it was going to work and you would get it done before settlement. Like a lot of settlements are 4 to 8 weeks. And I know you've experienced it at the moment, Mark, like some banks and a lot of clients, they're like, it's going to be 4 to 5 weeks before we even get to your application sort of thing or get you an answer. So now it's not about, do you like the property? It's about, are you ready to buy and can you get that confidence and that pre-approval? So what would you do first, Mark? Do you go to your bank, your CBA? Do you go to a broker? What are the good buyers, the great buyers in the marketplace? What are they doing regarding finance?
Look, I think a couple of quotes is a good idea. No one does that. People generally just go to one broker and get a quote. But you know, brokers are a free service. You're only actually paying for them if you engage. If you engage with those guys. So what I would do is talk to 2 brokers, see what those brokers are offering, and then decide on who you're going to engage in there.
Because
that's the first thing.
That's the first thing. And then just getting all your paperwork in order so you're in that. Because the main thing is to get a pre-approval, isn't it? Like you go to the broker, you give them all the information, you get a pre-approval, which is free. And that will basically go to you how much you can borrow. Because do you know how many times people say to me, oh, I'm looking to buy, but I just need to work out how much I can borrow. And they've sort of built it up in their head that this is a hard thing for someone to do that's in that industry. Like I was chatting to a buddy at the gym, he's like, I just need to work it out and go through this. Like, well, you don't need to work out anything. You just need to call this guy, give him your details, and he will tell you based on your deposit, based on your income, and then there's no more guessing. I find there's a big step between people who they've got money in the bank. They know they want to buy, and there's like this big wall that stops them engaging someone to just go, all right, tell me what I can do. And I think that's sometimes come after they find a property that they want, but then the process can take a long time. They can miss out. So I think step 1, set with a broker and just get your parameters. Like they can tell you pretty quick, hey, Mark, of that deposit with that income, and that's the big thing these days, the income, that's how much you can borrow. So then you know what to look for when you're buying. Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, Luke.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Sonia.
I call it shaping, where you can't shape your financial look and your financial model unless you've had time. So what a lot of people do is they leave, once they've actually got the deposit ready, then they go to the bank and then the bank says, nah, you need to do this. Nah, you need to do that. And that can be another 3 to 6 months for shaping. So I think it's just really important that, you know, it's great to be opposite 2 brokers and it's great to be talking about your financials, but they're then going to tell you, okay, So this is your shortfall, and this is what the banks look at, and this is how you can improve your look to the banks. And that's really, really important. No one tells buyers that. No one tells
That is
buyers
so
that,
true.
hey, do you know what I mean? No one says, hey, it's okay. Because you sort of automatically think you'll walk in, get assessed. It's pretty it's a bit of a head fuck. Like, it's almost like you're being graded like a cow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like, am I good enough? Am I not? But if you understand that, financing is just hard in general, it's not you, it's everyone. And then to shape yourself or to model yourself better, it's going to be, it's normal. So you need, and you know what, you're a much cooler cat when you don't need the money. So when you go to the broker and you talk to the broker, you're a much better cat. When you're not looking to buy it, and when you actually haven't found the property you like, you're not desperate. 100%. So you just cruise in and you just get it approved, even if it takes 3 months, don't care. It takes 4 months, bit of shaping, don't care. Better.
And what you mean by shaping is, for example, like if the bank will go through your bank statements, and if you've got Sportsbet, Deliveroo, Crown Casino on there, you're going to get smashed. With risk assessment and rating. So when we mean shaping, we mean just making yourself look as good as you can. It's like putting makeup on before the dance. Like, you're just shaping it around. Like, that's
it's not particularly your makeup. The broker's going to tell you, what sort of makeup to use, what color to use, and it may not be what you think. So you actually won't know. You won't be able to shape yourself until you've been opposite these brokers and listen to what they have to say.
And a lot of those things, it's not instant, because a bank will generally want 1 to 3 months of your last bank statement. So if you've been smashing sports bets because it was Melbourne Cup, you need almost 3 months of nothing on your bank statement before you're really a good candidate or a better shaped candidate to buy a property. So that's why it's super important to do the finances before you even find a property you like. And that's where we're at. That's what the topic is. Buying real estate is no longer about the property, because you need to have yourself in the best position. And as you said, Mark, how many times where things can get missed or you may not get the best deal is if you found the property of your dreams and you're going in there going, fuck, I need to buy it, make it work. And you can get charged a higher interest rate if you're not, if there's little things you haven't done 3 or 6 months to go to put yourself in the best position or look the best in the bank's eyes. So just like sellers always say, you're the best seller when you don't have to sell. You're the best buyer when you don't have to buy, and don't have that pressure of missing out on a property, because people will do crazy things to find a property to make it work when they love that property.
Yeah, like, you want to be a cool cat. The best buyers out there do not care. They're not emotional. It's a business. It's business. And they just rock in, rock out. They realize another one's going to come up if they miss it. They don't care. And when you got that attitude with funding, it's just so much more stress-free. It's just so much more stress-free. So, and then that'll filter across the buying. You know what I mean? You think, you know what? If I grab it now, great. If I grab it later, great. Great attitude to have. But to do that, you need to get the first step to buying a place is funding that puppy. It's going to be the biggest step, because now the easiest step, believe it or not, the easier one is finding the property. The hardest 100%. One is funding that.
And as Paul said on Instagram, bank is having a punt on you, 100%. And if you want the bank to bet on you, you don't want to be around, like if you're about to do a running race, you don't want to be running around limping you just want to look the best, position yourself. And it all comes with knowing what they look for as well. So, g'day, Billy, how are you, mate? What else on that, Mark? Anything else you want to add on that? I just think it's about,
Yeah, look, I got AirPod Pros.
AirPod, new ones?
Yeah, new ones, the Pros. And
do they have a light on them yet? That's my invention for them. So just if any case anyone's wondering.
The reason why I'm mentioning it is I can't really concentrate because I keep thinking they're falling out of my ear.
They just fit so good? Or they're
because they're like noise cancelling, they don't sort of sit in like the old ones. But just see if I'm like looking like a space cadet this morning, it's because I think gonna keep dropping out. So that's why.
Nice. I still think
Interesting.
my invention is that they have a green light at the top. So how many people, if you have AirPods, you'll get this,
Yes.
that you're on the phone, people just come and walk up to you and just start talking to you. And you're like, and you're pointing to your ear like, I'm on the phone. And they're, oh shit, sorry. I think there needs to be like a little red or green light that when you're talking to someone, if it's a phone call activated, that it lights on so people will know. Because there needs to be something. It happens way too often. And you feel like, especially, you feel bad because you're pointing aggressively, like, I'm on the ear. How do you not know this? And
You lose focus on your conversation.
You do.
But and hopefully this topic helps this morning with people that are going to be buying. You know what? Another tip as well that I give people while we're on this topic is even if you're not buying, apply for finance.
Yeah.
Even if you're not buying, apply for finance, because again, that modeling, you're learning about what banks want you to look like is important for the rest of your life. It's important when you go for a new job. It's important if you leave an old job. You sort of want to know your stuff. And because lending money is a big thing for an Australian. To buy a home to live in, I don't know why, it's just a big thing for Australians. But and as we spoke about this morning, it's now become a very clear and a very important piece, relevant to buying a great property or a bad property. It's more important and more paramount than that. So you should be getting those health checks. If you're not a property owner, you should be getting these health checks and talking to brokers. If you are a property owner and you don't need any money, you should be getting these health checks, because you know what, work may change and you don't have an ability to get a loan anymore because you're now a contractor. A lot of employees, this is really interesting. It seems to be a bit of a trend in the marketplace for these massive corporates not to pay people a wage anymore. They pay people, they put people onto a contract, and the contracts are 12 or 24 months contracts. So
that's true.
So if you're borrowing money, it's probably pretty important as to where you are in your contract. So if you're refinancing, you may think, shit, actually, I've just signed up a new, like if you're with AMP or Telstra or someone, and they put you on a 24-month contract. That may be the opportune time. I don't know, but it may be the opportune time for a broker to actually rewrite your loan, get you a lower interest rate while you've just started that new fresh contract and you're looking good on paper. When you're at the end of the contract, they may just go, nah, look, we're not sure.
Yeah, and it lasts 3 months, sometimes even longer. So it's good just to have that approval there. And I think what you said is really, really smart, especially with how that's structured. Even if you're looking to change jobs and you may wanting to buy, before you do so, have a loan approved, because once you've got it, they don't really look back at all the information again until it expires. So I think that's actually very, very smart to have that approval there.
Yeah, not a lot of people know that banks, once you've actually taken out that 25-year loan, your assessment generally is over.
Yeah.
So do you know what I mean? So modeling yourself for that assessment is so important and so right, because it lasts for such a long time, and they're not going to tap you on the shoulder 3 years, 7 years, 9 years, 12 years and say, hey, can I see your financials again?
Yeah.
The amazing thing in this country, which you know what, I reckon it could change. The amazing thing in this country is that you don't actually get asked after the initial loan approval ever again. Technically, you should. For good lending responsibility, banks should probably ask every 5 years how you're going and how much do you get paid, and you've still got the ability to pay this loan, but they don't. So we're a lucky country for that. But having said that, look at yourself on paper. It's very important.
Sure. Alrighty, it's Saturday. Hope this helped everyone. It will be on podcast as well. I'm sure and we've got breakfast with Novak coming on the Novak Facebook shortly with Mark when he gets in. So it should be good. Good Saturday. It's going to be busy.
Giddy up, man. Have a good day. Look, what's the weather doing out there? It's 20 degrees.
I missed the sound. What was cutting out on Insta? What was that?
20 degrees. It looks pretty warm out there. Looks like it's going to be a great day.
Yeah, it could rain as well, though.
A warm. No, it looks like it's going to be warm, but hopefully it'll hold off. I don't know. We're doing weather reports now, except for behind me on Facebook. It looks.
Yeah, your weather looks good. Maybe Northern Beaches ain't so good.
Yeah.
Alrighty. See you guys. See everyone.
See ya. Bye.